Hello everybody, I'm Todd Hetty. Welcome to another edition of Head First Performance News. This week, Cynthia is going to review Louisville Lovin the Hills, the 6-mile, 15-mile, and 50K Mud Fest that it was this year. After that, we'll talk about a few upcoming races we've got, and then some new ideas that we're trying to cook up to see what you guys think about it and if we should move forward or not. We'll start off with Cynthia's review of Louisville Lovin the Hills. Take it away, Cynthia.
Hey everybody, this is just a recap of Louisville Lovin the Hills that happened last Saturday. I want to say thank you for everybody that came. It was a great race, a great day, and one of my favorite events of the entire year. I put a lot of time and effort into preparing for this race, and so I'm always so happy when it comes about. I want to say thank you to our sponsors, which was King Combs Running Store and Quest Outdoors. They did a great job in providing the prizes for the people. And also the pasta dinner the night before at Quest Outdoors was homemade pasta. There's a lady that works there. There's also a chef. And so if you had missed it this year, you ought to check that out in the future. The food was really great. And so I want to say thank you for that. Also, I want to say thank you to all of my wonderful volunteers. This year, it happened to be very muddy and rainy throughout the day. So for people to stand out there all day long to be at the aid stations or at different places to direct you on, it takes a major commitment and people who really love the sport and love to see the athletes do well. So I want to say thank you to all of you all that came out and volunteered for me. I really appreciate it. And I would call you all by name, but if I left anybody out, I would feel terrible. But just know as a group that the race would not be the same without you. And obviously I couldn't do it alone. And so thank you, because a race is really probably as good as the volunteers. And I think that we have absolutely the very best volunteers. As I think that about all trail runners, they're actually such a great group of people. There were 3 races that went on. We had the 6-miler, the 15-miler, and the 50K. The 6-miler had a big crowd in it, and the winner was Lee Tishner of the men's race. Second place was Ivan Rister, and third place was Brad Fieldhouse. Of the women, Donna Valcalaris came in first, but she was also the third-place person overall. Christina Halleris was second place, and Adeline Thaler was third place. Of the 15-miler, Greg Franz was first, Zach Taylor second, and Richard Torres third. Sally Etherton was first-place female with Amy Isabel second, and Melissa Davison third place. Good job, people. And of the 50K, and they were out there for quite a while. But actually, the guy who came in first, Nathan Holland, was second place last year. And this year, he did it in a time of 4:50. I think his time was only like 20 minutes off from his time last year, which is really amazing considering the amount of mud that was out there this year. Cody Case was second place, and Will Rivera was third. Of the women, Alicia Heine took the first place, Tave Wallace second, and Aaron Brady in third. Great job to everybody, considering that it had rained all week and the mud was more than I have ever seen on those trails. Just to complete any distance out there and to even run in it was quite amazing. Normally, at Lovin the Hills, you may have to walk up a few of the hills, but you can usually run down really well. Whereas this time, I think it was more like a mud bath, and they may have been more like skiing down the hill or going down on their bottom. So it was really rough out there this year. There was nobody that actually got hurt, so I was really, really happy about that. I don't know if people were more cautious because of the mud, or maybe the landing when you fell was just softer because you fell in a pile of mud. Now, people actually had mud on them head to toe. So anyway, that's kind of fun, all in and of itself. So I think that was pretty amazing. And I was really happy to see all the people come out. In my mind, I wasn't sure how many people would show up for the weather, but the temperature was nice. So even though there was drizzle of rain at different times and mud the entire time, people still came out and participated, and the weather was nice. One bad thing is a lot of cars got stuck in the mud, and Chase, my nephew, who is the timer, spent a lot of his time pulling the cars out of the mud so that they could find their way home. I think he really enjoyed that, though, actually, which was kind of funny, but I don't think any damage was done on that front. So as far as all that goes, I think the race went really well. I'm glad for all the people that came and participated. Now, I must give a shout out and a thank you to Roxy the dog. Roxy ran, and this year Roxy actually had a number. If you all know, every year Rhonda brings her little dachshund, Roxy, and she always brings cookies. She had cookies made for all the runners, and so I want to say thank you to that. Alicia Heine always brings lots and lots of cookies for all the racers and runners, and I want to say thank you to her for helping with the good food. Also, Ed Kirk, he lives on the forest. His house backs up to the back of it, and he does a lot of help with me with this race. He marks a lot of the trail, and he also keeps the blog spot Llth Plus. So if you ever have any questions or curiosity about the race, like where you should stay, where you should park, how directions to any place, where to find the maps for the course, or any question whatsoever, past winners from the very beginning, you will find it on Ed's blog spot that he keeps, Llth. So thank you, Ed, for all that you have done for making Lovin' the Hill such a great race. I also want to thank Todd. He helps me a lot, too, with this race. You know, I really don't do all the work myself, although I try to take credit for it all. No, I'm teasing. Todd, though, and Chase and Bobby, the guys that work for us and our crew, they do a great job, and they have every year. And I just want to tell them thank you for doing such a great job. So anyway, as all of you are listening to this, tomorrow will be Valentine's Day, and that's really what Lovin' the Hills, how it started, it was a Valentine's Day race. I hope you enjoyed it, and tell your Valentine happy Valentine, eat some chocolate, and have a great day, and we'll talk to you next time. Plus, if you have any ideas or thoughts or anything that might make improvement to the race or you would like to see added or anything at all, please don't hesitate to contact us and let us know, because we want to make this the best race possible. So anyway, thanks for coming and thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks, Cynthia. Make sure if you have any comments about the race or anything else you'd like to comment on, you put them in the section below. I'd also like to talk to you a little bit about first triathlon in the Shelbyville Triathlon Series coming up the last weekend in February on that Sunday. The distances for that race will be a 3K run, a 6-mile bike, and then a 400-yard swim. These distances are great for everybody, whether you're training for something later in the summer and you just want to kick your season off, or if you're a beginner, just trying to really find out if you like the sport and what you're capable of. Check that out at headfirstperformance.com. One of the ideas we've got coming up for the year is we'd really like to do an off-road triathlon. But to make that feasible, we need to get some comments to see what y'all's level of interest is and see if it's worth moving forward on. So if you're a mountain biker or a trail runner and you'd like to get a triathlon going, let us know. We'll get moving on that. Another idea would be we're looking for locations for that. So if anybody has any suggestions, let us know that also. Thanks. We'll call it there for this week and see you the next time.